भवेत् नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। हरे कृष्ण। स्वनिगमम् अपहाय मत् प्रतिज्ञां ऋताम् अधिकर्तुमवाप्लुतो रतस्तः धृतरथः चरणो व्यचलद्गुर् हरिर्लव इव हन्तुम् इबं गतोतरीया। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to read the word-to-word translation and purport?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can read the word to word.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Swanigamam,
Swaniganam,
own truthfulness,
own truthfulness,
apahaya,
apahaya,
for nullifying, mat pratigdam,
mat pratignan,
my own promise, ritam,
tam,
factual,
factual,
adi,
adi,
more, kartum,
artha,
for doing it,
for doing it,
avapluta,
avapluta,
getting down, ratastha,
ratastha,
from the chariot, dhrita,
drita,
taking up, ratha, chariot, charana, wheel, abhyayat, went hurriedly, chaludgu, trampling the earth, hari, lion, iva, like, hantum, to kill, ibham, elephant, gata, leaving aside, uttariya, covering cloth. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'll read the translation and purport. In case the network fails me, Arya Govind Prabhu, kindly continue. I'm reading the translation and purport. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai. Translation. Fulfilling my desire and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garment on the way. Purport. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought on military principles, but at the same time in a sporting spirit, like a friend's fight with another friend. Duryodhana criticized Bhishma Dev, alleging him that he was reluctant to kill Arjuna because of the paternal affection. A Kshatriya cannot tolerate insults on the principle of fighting. Bhishma Dev therefore promised that the next day he would kill all the 5 Pandavas with special weapons made for the purpose. Duryodhana was satisfied and he kept the arrows with him to be delivered the next day during the fight. By tricks, Arjuna took the arrows from Duryodhana, and Bhishma Dev could understand that this was a trick of Lord Krishna. So he took a vow that the next day Krishna would have to take up weapons himself, otherwise his friend Arjuna would die. In the next day's fighting, Bhishma Dev fought so violently that both Arjuna and Krishna were in trouble. Arjuna was almost defeated. The situation was so tense that he was about to be killed by Bhishma Dev the very next moment. At that time, Lord Krishna wanted to please his devotee Bhishma by keeping Bhishma's promise, which was more important than his own. Seemingly, he broke his own promise. He promised before the beginning of the Battle of Kurukshetra that he would remain without weapons and would not use his strength for either of the parties. But to protect Arjuna, he got down from the chariot, took up the wheel of the chariot, and hurriedly rushed at Bhishma Dev in an angry mood, as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He dropped his covering cloth on the way, and out of great anger, he did not know that he had dropped it. Bhishma Dev at once gave up his weapons and stood to be killed by Krishna, his beloved Lord. The fighting of the day was thus ended at that very moment, and Arjuna was saved. Of course, there was no possibility of Arjuna's death because the Lord himself was on the chariot. But because Bhishma Dev wanted to see Lord Krishna take up some weapon to save his friend, Lord created this situation, making Arjuna's death imminent. He stood before Bhishma Dev to show him that his promise was fulfilled and that he had taken up the lead. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, over to you.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all the devotees. So we're continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9. Today's text is number 37. And the chapter is entitled The Passing Away of Bhishma Dev in the Presence of Lord Krishna. And the text again. Fulfilling my vow and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garment on the way. So we hear Srila Prabhupada explaining to us and the scripture that a drop of seawater, a drop of water from the ocean has all the qualities of the big ocean. All the same chemicals are inside that drop of water, but there is only a very tiny amount, microscopic amount, but it's the same chemical. And Srila Prabhupada explains to us that we can understand God to some extent by just studying ourselves and studying other people. Because that example of the seawater and the tiny drop of ocean water, we are tiny drops of Lord Krishna, tiny drops of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever qualities we have or other people have, they must be there within the Supreme Absolute Source of everything. The Srimad Bhagavatam begins with that verse, Janmadasa yataha anvayadi taratesha vigasarat. That the absolute truth, Krishna, is that from which everything emanates, by whom everything is maintained, and into whom everything enters. Janmadasa yataha anvayadi taratesha vigasarat. And in the Bhagavad Gita, we have the verse, Aham Savasya Prabhava Mata Savam Pravartante, where Lord Krishna tells in the 10th chapter that I am the source of everything. And then again in the 9th chapter, many places, Maya idam tatam sarvam, jagadavyakta murtina, that I am the source of everything by my energy. So all of us, I'm sure, are friends with someone, friends with some people, with others. people are friendly towards us. But we have experience here in this world of friendship, especially a good friend. We're not speaking of an acquaintance, suppose in the office or someone we see at the store once in a while, and we say, hello, how are you? But they really don't know much about our life. We don't know about them. We don't share. We haven't shared very personal things. That's just an acquaintance, what's called an acquaintance. But a friend is someone who has actual feelings for us, and we have a steady relationship. And we care about our friend, and they care about us. And we try to do what we can to be of help, whatever the situation with that person. And also that person, a friend, is usually not judgmental, judgmental in a negative way, that they reject us if we like a certain food or if we're interested in a certain music or our beliefs. A real friend is the relationship is beyond that. They care about us as a human or as a being. And a friend will sometimes speak bitter words to us. That's actually a symptom of a real friend. Someone who is not a real friend, they'll always agree with us. Yes, whatever you're doing is wonderful. Yes, 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 yes. Perhaps that's a type of friend. But someone who really cares about us, they'll suffer the consequences of saying something, and we may get angry with them. And we see that this quality of friendship, it's there between parents and children. There's a certain quality of friendship. Friendship meaning that we wish the best and we care for the other person. We're not an enemy, of course. So a friend will sometimes suffer the consequences of speaking something that may get us upset. Husband and wife, hopefully they are very good friends. A good marriage is based upon friendship, good friendship. They genuinely care about each other, and they are confident that when the other person says something, even if it pinches, it's not a personal insult, but from their point of view, they wish us the best and they're saying something they feel will help us. And so we have confidence that they're not just being mean or something. So here we are hearing, and we hear this throughout Srimad Bhagavatam in our science of Krishna Bhakti, this relationship of friendship. And Arjuna and Lord Krishna, their relationship is Sakya Rasa. Who remembers the other rasas? There's 5 main rasas or moods of relationship. So one is Sakya, which is friendship. What are the other?
Shantaras.
Which is? What is
Servitorship.
Dasya.
And what's the flavor of what's the mood of Shantaras?
Serving in a passive way.
Yeah, I guess we could take it that way. Just like in the spiritual world, the plants and the animals, the cows and the birds and frogs. Yes, there's frogs in the spiritual world, but they're not like the frogs here. They adore Krishna, but they're passive, as Prabhu said. They're passive. It's not actually Dasyara. That's the other one, which is a strong mood of servitorship. So we have the Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and what are the other 2 rasas?
Vatsalya and Madhurya.
And what are they?
Vatsalya is the rasa of Krishna being the baby, or the rasa that you are the mother of Krishna or parent of Krishna. And Madhurya is conjugal love that the gopis had.
Yes, girlfriend and boyfriend, or wife and husband. So as we began our discussion, all these different flavors of relationship, we have them because they must be there in the absolute truth. The idea of something coming from nothing doesn't make any sense. If we have two elephants, we're not going to have a baby giraffe. No one would expect a baby giraffe because the qualities of giraffe with the long neck and the different kind of body, it's not there in the elephant. Only a crazy person would expect a giraffe to come from elephant. We don't cook. We don't make paratha, putting the rolled out dough in the refrigerator because it's not going to cook. It doesn't have the quality of heat. So it can only be that these different relationships that we have here as children of parents or parents of children, a husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, a servant, or just appreciating someone. That's very common with when we adore celebrities, like an actor, actress, singer, and athlete. We may appreciate them. We acknowledge them. Oh, yes, this is a notable person that I feel attracted to, that I appreciate. But we don't offer any particular service. So we have the Shanta Ras, which is neutral, and then Dasya, which is active service. You want to do something, or you are doing something in the service of someone else. So each of these relationships, they progress in the intensity of the love and the care. The care that parents have for the children is deeper than a friend has for their friend. The parents will generally sacrifice more for the children than a friend would sacrifice for a friend. And ultimately, the Madhurya Ras, or the intensity of utter love between male and female, is generally completely sacrificial, even up to the point of someone giving up their life for the other one. So I wanted to make the point that each of these rasas, they have within it the Shanti Dasya rasa. Every rasa, except for Shanta, has service. The parents are serving the children. The children are offering service to the parents, the husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. They're acting to please one another, to serve each other. So the Dasya Rasa is always there. So in this particular verse and purport, we're hearing how, because of the friendship, because of the relationship between Arjuna and Lord Krishna, just like Srila Prabhupada says, of course, there was no possibility of Arjuna's death because the Lord himself was on the chariot. But because Bhishma Dev wanted to see Lord Krishna take up some weapon to save his friend, the Lord created the situation. So just see how the relationship that Bhishma Dev, he had deep affection for Krishna. And we heard earlier, specifically Krishna in his Vishnu form. And Bhishma, he wanted to see Lord Krishna break his promise. So this may surprise some people that God breaks promises. It does happen. Therefore, the Vaishnava pure devotees, they point out in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, you not me, you declare it boldly that my devotee will never be vanquished. Because sometimes Lord Krishna, out of love, extreme love for his devotee, may do some tricky things and even break his promise. But he always supports, he'll always fulfill the promises of his pure devotee. So that's a very important understanding, that when Lord Krishna's pure devotees give a promise or they say something, it has the backing of Lord Krishna himself. So Srila Prabhupada explains, and the Acharyas explain, that this is, and we'll hear more about it in the next purport, that this is a kind of love. Sometimes parents will do anything. They might even break the law to protect their child. It happens, although they usually won't break the law. Out of love, they will do something for a wife, for a husband for a wife, based on the sentiment of affection. So it is there within Lord Krishna. And Bhishma Dev knew Lord Krishna had promised that I will not take up a weapon. I will not fight on anyone's side. And Bhishma Dev knew that. Only if Arjuna was in some very bad situation might Lord Krishna break his promise. So these are all dramatic. Just like in a movie, they have drama. The people, based upon their relationships, there are many dramatic scenes. The child is missing and the parents are out of their minds with anxiety. And it's dramatic. And then when they find the child, there is such a wonderful happiness. And the woman or the man, but we might say especially the woman, if she's in a relationship, very close relationship, a boyfriend or wife or husband, and she thinks that he's sporting around with other women, there'll be a lot of drama. So this is drama based upon relationships, out of feelings. Spiritual life is not without feelings. That's what I'm thinking is a good point here. Real spiritual life does not mean to become like a zombie or to become like a stone. Everything is spirit. I'm not matter. I have nothing to do with this material world. I have nothing to do with nothing. I don't want anything to do with ordinary relationships. Sometimes people feel like this, don't they? They'll say to us, I'm never getting married again. I'm never having another relationship because of the experience. But it's not possible. We are eternally persons. When Krishna says Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat, when Lord Brahma says Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha, the supreme personality, the supreme spirit, the supreme Brahman is full of rasa, emotion and feeling. So the question becomes, all right, I'm not supposed to become a stone. So what do I do with my emotions? My feelings? They're there. I can't make believe they're not there. Well, I can try to make believe they're not there. Sometimes we have jealous feelings or envious feelings, or sometimes we feel even a flash of hate. So we can try to make believe that they're not there. Sometimes we do that because we feel embarrassed that, oh, I'm having these feelings. They're not good feelings. But they are there. So what to do with them? So as it's said, that unless one recognizes a sickness, one can't begin to heal it. Or if someone is having, or any kind of problem, if we don't acknowledge that there's something that needs attention or fixing, then how will it be fixed? So we'll find in that, in the bhakti literature that we are instructed to engage our feelings in Krishna, to dovetail, just like greed. So sometimes we want to have as much more money, more food, more sex, more power. That's a big one, power. Someone is a supervisor, then they want to be the manager, then they want to be the bigger manager, they want to be the president of the company. They want more and more feeling of control. So greed. So we should be greedy to go back to the spiritual world. We can be greedy to love Krishna. We can be greedy to make money for Krishna. And anger, if we have a tendency to be angry, then we can be angry at our lack of advancement in Krishna consciousness. We can be upset. Oh, I'm so irritated. I'm so not advanced. Let me push harder to make more advancement. Or we could become irritated or even angry. Oh, look at all this Maya in the world. I will do something. Sometimes it is said that it is hard, that there's no possibility of winning a fight unless one has some anger. In the realm of boxing, it is well known that the fighters, it is extremely helpful for their success to be angry at their opponent, or otherwise it's not possible to fight. Even Lord Krishna, he stimulated, he instigated Arjuna to become angry. Actually, he arranged so that the Pandavas would become outraged, so that they would be the best instruments to fight against the Kuru army, because you can't really fight anything without being upset or angry with the situation. Oh, I've gained so much weight, I'm going to become sick, I have to do something about it. And we become angry with our eating habits or upset. And we get energy, we get power to move forward. So we have anger, jealousy, and envy. It is explained that actually envy does not have much place in Krishna consciousness, and we can heal that by purifying our heart through the process of bhakti. What else? What other feelings do we have? Love. That's top and foremost. In the same way that we have affection for our parents, our children, our friends, in the same way we think of doing things for them, we focus that on Krishna and devotees of Krishna and Krishna's desire that led me, that, love is an energy, actually. Love is, some people say, I love this person. But real love is a state of love. When I say a state of love, I mean, just like a weather pattern. Like some days it's cloudy, some days raining, sunny. So it is a situation, a climate, an atmosphere, which is just there. And similarly, there is a state of love, which is our original consciousness. As we become purified, we become more and more in a state of unconditional love. Unconditional love. This is a symptom of becoming more and more spiritually advanced. Unconditional love does not depend on anything. It doesn't depend on any condition. That's what I meant to say about a rainy day, a cloudy day. It just is. That's just what the day is. And as we make more and more advancement and become awakened, we will become more in a state of unconditional love, which is Lord Krishna, which is the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unconditionally, Krishna always loves us. He never does not love us. And as we make advancement, that we will have that same state of being. And that is real love. Then, even in ordinary sense, the more we are in a state of love, the more we can have healthy, loving relationships with others, because we will not be so much demanding things from the others, or our love for them won't depend upon what they do or what they don't do. We just love them. Like a mother's love for her children, it seems to be almost causeless. It just loves her children. And we have other examples of this. We just love someone. And that's a state of love. So Krishna and Arjuna, they have this friendly relationship. And Arjuna is such a close friend of Krishna that Krishna will do anything practically for Arjuna. So therefore, that statement that God can be controlled only by bhakti. And as we develop our honest, real devotion for Krishna, he will reciprocate accordingly. It's probably not going to be the case right now that because we don't have, I know I don't have the kind of thick, deep love for Krishna that Arjuna had, or even that Bhishma had, or Nanda Maharaj, and Krishna's cowherd boyfriend. Krishna has cowherd boyfriend. We hear their names, Sudama and Sridham, Subal, Madhu Mangal, and they are just, we can think back to our childhood, or even now, of real friends that we have fun with. But Krishna has his cowherd boyfriend, and Shrimati Radharani has her girlfriend, and they're friends. And because of that real love, Krishna is inclined to reciprocate in the same way. Yayata mam prapadyante. As you surrender to me, so I will reward you accordingly. I will reciprocate with you. So here with Bhishma, Bhishma has such devotion for Krishna that Krishna is willing and wants to please Bhishma Dev. So here he's doing at least two things at once. He's protecting Arjuna. He's showing how he will break his own promise. Even he's picking up the wheel of the chariot to protect Arjuna when Bhishma Dev is attacking Arjuna very fiercely. And earlier in this purport, we heard how Duryodhana was keeping these special weapons that Bhishma Dev, because Duryodhana thought, well, I better hold these weapons so they're safe. But Krishna outsmarted him. And I don't remember the exact details, but here it's described that Arjuna, through different tricks, he took the weapons from Duryodhana and he spoiled the whole plan. And there are many instances in the Mahabharata where Lord Krishna did some different things to help the Pandavas. Just like when Duryodhana was going to, near the beginning of the battle, he was going to go before his mother. And because his mother had been so chaste and such an ascetic, she had mystic power. And he wanted her to look at him so his body would be completely protected from all weapons. And Lord Krishna somehow arranged, he said, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to do this. Well, you cannot go before your mother naked. You have to cover yourself. So through some trick, Duryodhana's thighs became unprotected. And then later on, Bhima broke them with a club. So there was a tricky thing. Also another, so many, but there was that instance described where when the Pandavas were back in their own palace, living after the exile in the forest, and Duryodhana came to visit them. And he fell into some water, some kind of tricky design of the building, and he fell into water. And Krishna's wives began laughing. And Yudhisthira tried to stop them from laughing so Duryodhana wouldn't feel angry. And Lord Krishna said, no, let them laugh. And that really, actually, that was described as the straw that broke the camel's back. Duryodhana became so angry to be insulted like that. So then the battle of Kurukshetra was started. So Krishna does all kinds of things behind the scene to accomplish the ultimate purpose of freeing us from the cycle of birth and death and protecting the pious and delivering the pious, annihilating the miscreants. And he does that for us. It is, even now, it seems to me, even though we may not be able to claim that we have the depth of love that the gopis have, or the wives of Krishna, or the friends of Krishna, still, Krishna has appeared to help us. What are some of the ways that Krishna is present right now to help each and every one of us?
Krishna's holy name.
Okay, very good. Other,
Deity
Deity
Deities.
form?
what?
His deity form, Archa Vigrah.
As the deity?
Read in the Bhagavatam and the Gita.
Yes, scriptures. He is fully present there. Anyone else offer?
The
Some-
Paramatma feature in you,
By how?
by the Paramatma feature in
Yes.
you.
He's within our heart.
Seeing the divinity in everyone.
Oh, by seeing the divinity in every, the ability to see the divinity. Very good. Any other thoughts about it?
Also giving us the moment acharyas like Prabhupada.
Yes, sending us the pure devotees. So Krishna loves us. And Krishna is protecting us, or offering us the opportunity for protection. He may not be fulfilling every desire that we might have, whatever they may be, but he is certainly very lovingly and significantly and completely offering us, even as neophyte devotees, complete protection from Maya. And that's a very friendly thing to do. That's a very loving thing to do. Of course, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Father, and something to be appreciated and remembered that Krishna cares about. He may not be arranging, I have the biggest bank balance, or I get the best job, or that my son or daughter passes their college exams, or all of these different accomplishments of this material world. But he is offering us the opportunity for complete salvation. He is offering us the opportunity to solve our suffering 110%, 1000%. It is up to us to take advantage. So this is love. This is love. When we come home and our parents have prepared, or father, mother have prepared a meal, it is out of love. The parents are going to work to provide food. A friend is doing something for us. It is out of love. So it's very important, of course, to be personal. That the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, the deities, the acharyas, the pure devotees who are present now, from the past, what to speak of the incarnation of Nam. Harinama, Harinama, Hariname Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva Nasteva, Gatirani, the Krishna, Kali Kalaranam, Krishna, Rupa Avatar. There's a verse that Krishna has incarnated as himself in the form of divine sound. Krishna Nam Rupa avatar. And Krishna is completely present in his holy name. And we can experience that fact depending on the quality of our relationship with the holy name. And Krishna says, I can only be understood, bhaktimam abhijananti, yevanas chatni tatvataha, that I can only be known by devotion. So that means that we can experience Krishna as the deity, Krishna as the holy name, the Srimad Bhagavatam as Krishna by our devotion, by our respect and service as we serve the holy name. So how do we serve? How can we serve sound? That may sound rather strange, but that we speak of Nam Seva. So how do we serve the holy name? Someone can offer their understanding. Have you heard something? How do we serve the holy name of Krishna?
By chanting the holy name attentively.
By engaging our tongue, by using our tongue in the service of the holy name, by chanting, and anything else?
By going on Harinam.
By giving the holy. So by serving the holy name, Krishna will reveal himself to us. And the same with hearing and studying the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. If we do it in a respectful state of mind and in a mood of service, Krishna says, I am revealed by service. So we want to realize Krishna. We want to get our own experience of Lord Krishna. And the process is by service, our service attitude. It's not just giving the biggest donation to the temple. It's not the quantity of what one gives, but it is the attitude of humble service. A very important thing, because this attracts Krishna. This attracts all of us, assuming we're in our right mind. If our parents or friends or even servants or maid, household helper, what to speak of our husband or wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, when we notice that they're genuinely wanting to please us, it captures our heart, or it should. We feel very grateful. And it's the same with Krishna, that when he sees that we're thinking, let me please Krishna by chanting my japa. Let me please Krishna by reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Or my spiritual master will be happy if I meditate on the deity of Krishna and try and remember the deity of Krishna. So it's this intent or the purpose that we have in mind of pleasing our spiritual master, of pleasing Krishna. And this will capture Krishna's attention, just like it would anyone else, and he will reciprocate. I will reveal myself. What's that verse? Sevan mukhe hijivando, swayameva svarat yada. That's a verse from the Padma Purana, that Lord Krishna is revealed by serving him with our tongue. Sevan mukhe. Mukhe means tongue, and seva means service. Sevan mukhe hijivado, swayameva svarat yada. That I will be revealed by your service attitude. So this is very, very important so that we can be successful. We don't want to go on month after month, year after year, not feeling that we're having experience of Krishna. And then we'll become discouraged. So, but that means that we have to practice bhakti in the right way. Sometimes devotees may become discouraged, or we become discouraged. That it doesn't seem to be working. I don't feel like I'm making advancement. So we have to look then that am I following the process properly? Just like anything else, you know, if we're following some diet to lose weight and we're not losing weight, then well, am I really following as it was given to me? So if we are following the process of Krishna Bhakti properly, we will feel more and more satisfied and more peaceful, and we will have more experiences of Krishna being present. Yes, Krishna is present in the Holy. Krishna will, for each of us, because he knows the best way for each of us, he will let us understand so that we think to ourselves, yes, Krishna is here. I am making advances. I am experiencing Krishna. And this is very exciting. And Krishna consciousness is not meant to be just faith. And month after month, year after year, well, I believe, I just believe it. I'm following it. But we're meant to have experience of Krishna. And we should. It's not that all of us can realize Krishna to a very significant degree. We all have an eternal relationship with Krishna. And there's nothing to stop any one of us from fully awakening our relationship with Krishna. It has nothing to do with our material situation, that I'm a woman or I'm a man or I was a bad person or you know, I'm sick, I'm healthy, I'm not inclined to read or I am inclined. There's nothing that can stop any of us from awakening our full love for Krishna. Krishna consciousness is not like a material thing where you have to have so much, you may need to have so much qualification. It's not like that. The qualification is already there within us. And all we have to do is follow the process properly. It will work. It will work. And as we develop our relationship with Krishna, then we will become eventually in such a thick relationship, just like Arjuna and Bhishma Dev, who are having all of these very dramatic personal exchanges with Krishna. So in the purport, there was a point. No, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Are there any questions or discussion?
Hare
Comments?
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this excellent class. Your classes are usually so practical that we can understand the process and try to increase our faith in the process. Prabhuji, I understood about unconditional love, but I would like to have an example of how we can dovetail jealousy and hatred.
Well, Srila Prabhupada says that hatred can be against enemies of Krishna, against evil, against the lower modes of nature. I hate the mode of passion and ignorance within myself and in this world. And so I am avoiding those and doing what I can to remove them. So when we hate something, we don't associate with it, and we often want to kill it. So we can hate our anarthas. Up to a point, we should not hate ourselves. As they say, don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. So that's a way to dovetail hate. And jealousy, I've not heard how to dovetail jealousy or envy. Rather, it's something to become purified. Jealousy, as long as we, jealousy means that we admire or we want something that someone else has. So we can be jealous, actually, like greed. it is a kind of jealousy that I want to love Krishna, just like Arjuna, just like Mother Tashoda, just like Nanda Maharaj, just like this devotee that I know. Oh, I know this devotee, they're so devoted to Krishna. I want to be like that. So that's a kind of jealousy. So we should be jealous, or we should want things that are related to Krishna. But
So, Prabhuji,
envy involves resentment. That I see this devotee is so happy chanting Hare Krishna, and I resent that person. But envy doesn't have much place in Krishna consciousness.
we are here because of envy, so it's deep rooted. Prabhuji, so when we dovetail jealousy, for example, I am jealous because my neighbor has 10 cars, for example. So when I dovetail jealousy, saying, okay, this devotee is so pure and so good, and I want to become like him. Will it get rid of the jealousy I have for my neighbor?
Well, in a sense, because jealousy, jealousy and envy in this material world, they're there because we want something. If we didn't want anything in this world, we would never be jealous. That's the simplicity of it. To the degree that we want something of this world, we will naturally be jealous to one degree or the other. How could it be avoided? And as we become more in sattva guna means being satisfied with what we have. The more we are influenced by raja and tamagun, the more we have material desires. And then automatically, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita and in the 3rd chapter, that the natural result of lust is anger. Because we really want the 10 cars or the jewelry or the house or the man or the woman, and if we don't get it, then we get angry. But if we didn't have the desire to begin with, all of that would be gone. Very simple in essence, in theory. Very, very simple thing how it all works. So then as we become more Krishna conscious, which means more sattva guna, then the jealousy will go away. The sleepiness, the slothfulness, the laziness, the lack of ambition of tamagun will go away. The lack of the passion to have things of this world will become diminished and will go away. So as we desire to be Krishna conscious, then those things will go away, as you said. Yeah, they will.
So, Prabhuji, I was asked, a mother said that she hates this person because she ill-treated her child. So how can she dovetail the hatred now? Because whenever she sees this person, the feeling of hatred comes because she says, oh, because she ill-treated my child, I cannot forgive her. So how does she?
Has mistreated and we hate the person. Well, that's you may say that that's a normal kind of feeling in this world. Although the truth is, as we become more and more Krishna conscious, we hate the sin, not the sinner. And although we may avoid the person and we may make sure that person is disciplined or even arrested or whatever it may be, part of being Krishna conscious is being conscious that this child is not innocent. It's not an innocent child, which is no excuse for this person to do something. So that's one thing. That we see that everything is a complicated play of people's past karma and desires. That person who mistreated, we can understand that they were under the control of their own past activities and passion, although they are responsible for making the final choice to give in. They could have called the police. Oh, I'm about to mistreat this child, come and arrest me. They could, Or they could have called a friend. Oh, I'm about to do something. Help me. Or they could have just run out of the house. But they chose to do what so they're responsible. But I think we all can appreciate that sometimes it's very, very hard to control our feelings. So as we become Krishna conscious, we become conscious of all these things. And although we may, our hate and anger towards instruments of destruction and violence, although it may be there, it will be toned down by wisdom, and because we're not in the mode of passion. And when we are too much in passion and ignorance, then that's how we act. We do rash things and we become strong emotions. As we become in sattva guna, it's not that we ignore wrongs, but we just deal with it in a more calm and collected way. Even ordinarily, we hear stories of people who do things and then they're forgiven by people. I think maybe some of us have heard that. In a court, the mother or father will say, I forgive this person because I don't want to be controlled by the feeling of hate for the rest of my life. That's not good. Just from a material point of view. Who wants to spend the rest of their life like that?
Yeah, but the victim should be told that they did something wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, being in sattva guna doesn't mean that we do. Yudhisthira is the example of being in sattva guna, a king. But criminals were executed, and he fought in the battle of Kurukshetra. So it's not that they're just. When we are too much passion and ignorance, then we will say, the tendency will be, oh, you don't care, you're not chopping off their head. Well, that's just your passion. That's actually not that's not actually the right way to act. You may think it's the right way, and everyone around you may act like that. Someone hurts the family and then the whole family wants to go kill the person. It's passionate and ignorant. But they should take action, but in a Krishna conscious way. And that may include a feeling of anger. Of course it will. But it's controlled. It's not crazy. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, Prabhuji, it does. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions or comments? Sorry, I asked too many questions and we've exhausted our time. But are there any other questions or comments from other people, other devotees? Okay. I think it was a nice, simple class and everybody understood very well. Arya Govind Prabhu, can I request you to close the session?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for this wonderful class. I was just remembering there's one pastime which there's one Mataji, Dr. Nitai Sevini Mataji, was narrating on the Hanuman Chalisa, so meanings of each word of Hanuman Chalisa, and then she narrated one story that there was a devotee in South India in Andhra Pradesh, and then he was a devotee called Ram, and he started a function or something, and then he wanted to feed people. Then in that function, his son somehow falls in the boiling water and then dies. Then the devotee starts chastising Lord Ram. He goes, because devotee has the liberty to chastise even the Lord. So to avoid the chastisement, Hanuman came and rescued the child, and then he revived the child from the dead to alive. So I just wanted to narrate this story that the relation between the devotee and the Lord is so is so intense, and then it can cross limits like Bhishma Deva. For Bhishma Deva, Krishna broke his own promise and then wanted to fulfill his desire of breaking his own promise. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for this wonderful session. And I request all the assembled devotees to unmute and then chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra in glorification of His grace, Dina Sharan Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. Krishna Krishna.
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare Hare.
Vancha
Kalpatarunyasya
Kalpatarunyasya Patitan Pavane Vaishnave Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His grace Dina Sharan Prabhu ki jai. Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone, for having. I wish everyone Krishna's blessings and Srila Prabhupada's blessings.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Everyone be well.
Hare go ending the session. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.